guys, and welcome back to another life update, more or less. We're talking about parenting today, funny enough. In my last couple of videos, we've talked about the new roommates and having a 3 and a 5-year-old living in the house with me. It's been a lot. I don't have a lot of time to do anything. It's a lot of babysitting, hanging out with the kids, taking care of them, of course. Things I wasn't going to expect to be doing at 24. But that's how it goes sometimes. So we're going to talk about the different styles of parenting really fast of authoritative, authorization, permissive, and uninvolved. And then we're going to talk about what I'm trying to do with them. So authoritative parenting, caregivers are highly responsive and nurturing, yet set firm, age appropriate limits. They encourage open dialogue, explain the reasoning behind rules, and foster independence. We're not going to talk about the effects on the kids right now, but authorization, I don't know, parenting, focuses on strict obedience, high expectations, and control. These parents often use the because I said so mentality and may rely on punishment rather than discussion. Permissive parenting. Parents are highly affectionate and involved, but hesitate to enforce strict boundaries or consequences. They often prefer acting like a friend rather than an authority figure. And uninvolved or neglectful parenting. Caregivers are disengaged, offering little emotional support and few to no rules. While they may meet basic survival needs, they remain largely detached from the child's life. So, those are the four main types of parenting, basically. I personally am trying to stick with the authoritative parent of response, nurturing, age appropriate limits, and open dialogue. I will admit, I give them a lot of because I said so, but that's because at 5, the older one, I will go, no, you can't do this. He'll ask why. I will give him the answer to that question, and then he'll just keep going, but why? And I can explain it as many times as I would like, and I just keep getting hit with why. And at some point, I hit the part where I'm like, because I said so. Because, I can only explain it so many times before it frustrates me. That's really what it is. And on that note, I don't yell. I try my best to only raise my voice when they are in danger, which the 5-year-old has taken it upon himself to try to run into the road twice, hence yelling or raising my voice in a certain way. I never really understood what a mom voice was. I'm not going to lie. And then being around these kids 24/7 pretty much now. Yeah, I know. I found my mom voice and they're not even mine yet. Not yet. I don't have kids yet. We're not there yet. We'll get there eventually, guys. A couple of years probably. I'm too young for this crap. Um, but yeah, so parenting, it sucks. Oh my god. Every 5 seconds, I want this, I want that. It's like, okay, respectfully, you are old enough and your legs are working. You know where it is. Please go grab it. And then I get hit with the, well, I want you to grab it. And, you know, I try my best. I really do to make them self sufficient and independent because those are two things that are great as they get older. The 3-year-old, not so much. I tell him to grab things. But if he's asked me 6 times to get up and get something, yeah, no, the 6th time I'm going to look at him and be like, hey, why don't you go grab it yourself? Because there's only so many times in a day that I want to get up with how bad my hip is, you know, just things like that. It has been a freaking whirlwind having kids live in the house. It has been so entertaining and funny and frustrating and makes me want to pull my hair out. And I think it's partially because I didn't know these kids until they were 3 and 5. Um, so it's a big difference as opposed to if it were my own kids or if I had known them from birth. But it's definitely been an exciting new role to take on of being Auntie Lexi, especially where I do have nieces and nephews who I don't get to see anywhere near as much as I would like to. Um, so it's crazy and interesting and such a whirlwind. And oh my god, I understand why um, other species eat their children sometimes because you know the things these kids say is crazy. My biggest lesson I'm trying to work with them on right now is that words hurt even when you're saying them to an adult. So the 3-year-old on multiple occasions have has said that he wishes mommy and I were no longer here and that my fiance was the only adult in the house because he is working on learning the word no. I learned the word no very quickly with them, and obviously their mom tells them no a lot. But yeah, no, the amount of times I've heard I wish you and mommy were not here is crazy. And while I don't let it affect me when they say that to their mom or they say other things of I wish you weren't our mom kind of thing, yeah, no, that hurts. And so we've had a lot of conversations recently about just the whole hey, what you say can hurt other people sometimes more than if you hit them. Because at least if you're getting hit, respectfully, you're gonna get turned over my knee and I'm going to spank you, which I understand is a huge controversy at this point. But anyone like 21 and over, I can almost guarantee we were all spanked as children. I got spanked at least 4 times that I can think of, and I learned my lesson because now I fear my mother. Like, crazy fear my mother. She is probably the scariest person in my life. Um, but it's things like that. Children are meant to love and adore their parents. You're also supposed to fear your parents just a little bit. Enough that you know if you screw up, yeah, you're going to get punished, whether it's a timeout or something gets taken away, or when you screw up really bad, yeah, no, you get spanked sometimes. For me, the one that I remember and hear about the most is I was like 3 and I ran away from my dad in Walmart because I wanted to look at the toys and he was waiting in the customer service line or something. And it took a Walmart employee to bring me back. And then my mom was just so relieved that I was okay when we got back to the house. And 3-year-old me put my little hands on my hips and I go, he was taking too long and I wanted to look at the toys. Yeah, no, I got spanked for that. If I hadn't opened my mouth, my mother was just so grateful I was safe and okay. And it's things like that where, yeah, no, you need to learn the lesson. You don't run away from the adult, especially in a store full of people. Um, the amount of times I've looked at these kids and I'm like, if you're not in eyesight, you could literally get kidnapped and I wouldn't realize, but I wouldn't be able to find you. And something about that just doesn't register in their brains, which I get, they're young. Your brains are still developing. Hell, I am 24 and I feel like my brain is still developing. Um, Adults or doctors say your brain doesn't develop until like 25 fully. Yeah, no, their brains are still developing. I get that. It's the constant reminder to the children of your words hurt. You have to listen to adults. And we've had to set some household rules that when they break, they get a timeout. Um, because they both have a habit of when they're upset, they go, I'm going to hit you. And it's like, great. We don't hit people, but if you're going to, you're going to get punished appropriately for it. And it normally results in a timeout, which results in screaming and crying from the child. But, you can only do so much. I can't help their emotional stuff if they won't talk. And that's my biggest thing. I'm trying my best to just sit them down, talk to them as what they did was wrong, and they don't respond to that. They do respond to the timeouts or when I take a toy away because they threw it at my head. they respond to that and they understand that it was wrong. Um, but they don't respond when I sit them down and talk to them, which I'm hoping in another couple of years they will, because that's what my mom did with me. When I was in trouble, it was okay, we are going to talk about this. We are going to talk about what you did wrong, how you could have handled it, depending on what the situation was, and this is your punishment. And that is what I would like to be able to do with these children eventually. But, right now, I think they're just a little too young to fully understand where I'm going with it, which is fine. Um, we are also working on manners. They do a lot of hitting or screaming at each other and then don't apologize, or they do the same thing to their mom and I. And then I set them down and I go, like, if I raise my voice, I go, I'm very sorry I raised my voice. This is why I raised my voice. I'm apologizing. And then they're starting to catch on to the, I'm sorry I did this and that you responded that way. It's going to be a long road. They have not been living here that long, and that is fine. They've been living with us for like a month. It's going to take longer than that to break some of their old habits, and I get that. It's just a lot. So if my videos and filming schedule are a little weird or not coming out on time, it is probably because I am babysitting pretty much every single night and or in the morning before I have to go to work. So, just as a heads up, and that is also why I have not been active on Twitch in quite a while, because I don't have time to sit down and stream for 4 hours. I can barely sit down 15 minutes to film a video. That's how it goes sometimes. But, I adore these kids and I'm so happy to be in their lives, and we'll see where it goes. Who knows? Maybe a year from now or longer, we'll have an updated of how this time frame has gone compared to then. We don't know. But on that note, we are almost to the 15-minute mark and I have somewhere to be. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, a comment, or subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.